What's going on? What's going on? To all my subscribers on my YouTube page in particular, and anybody else that's gonna come across this video, peace to you. Just not that long got off the phone with my mom, had a nice conversation with her. We were talking about 3 guys that she saw on Steve Harvey, that she thought, look a lot like me. And so my mom did like this, right? So I'm weighing in the fact that she saw 3 guys that look like me and my brother, that resemble us. And then she says, Deron, she says, guess where they're from? And I was like, Ghana. And she was like, how you know? I said, Mom, I told you when I took my ancestry test, that was the highest percentage I got from Ghana. She's like, Deron, they didn't even look like they were from, Ghana or Africa. They look like us. I'm not like, Mom, but we are them. They are us and we are them. That's what it is. That's our people, over in Africa. You know what I'm saying? No matter how long ago it was or how recent. I mean, look at my features. You see, I still carry the evidence right here. But that's another video. If you want to go see my ancestry results and you already subscribed, you go watch that. I've seen a lot of videos where people are talking about traveling alone, and a lot of it has been women. So I just want to kind of weigh in as a male, because I know there are certain things that are unique to women that are different from men. There's certain issues, there's certain problems, there's certain priorities, and certain safety concerns that are different, that are unique for women than it is a man. So I also wanted to address that in a sense and just weigh in about traveling alone. I prefer to travel alone. And you got to remember, this is just my opinion. Someone can make another video saying how it's like 1,000,000 times better to travel with other people. But for me, there are certain inconveniences with traveling with a group of people. And I'm also in this video, I'm going to tell you, why I'm not so afraid to travel alone. A lot of it has to do with my religion, my faith, and a lot of it has to do with my experiences. And I'm going to say faith. And here's the thing about YouTube. You got a lot of people on here that want to blast you. This is not like, my thing is, if you come on this video, with disrespect, I'm going to block the individual and I'm going to disable the comments, which I don't want to do because I love, seeing other people's perspective and input. So I don't want to do that. And I say one of the reasons why I'm not afraid to travel is because I'm a Christian, actually one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And so what people don't realize is that we have a worldwide brotherhood. There are Jehovah's Witnesses in almost 300 different lands. So, we are a tight-knit people. So I could easily call one of the branches of Jehovah's Witnesses out there, and it could be Ethiopia, it could be Zimbabwe, and I'd let them know that, yes, I am a brother. I am your brother spiritually, and we love each other. They'll accommodate. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not afraid. And then another reason is, my personal lifestyle and situations. I used to be, before I became a Christian, I used to, dibble and dabble in the streets. I used to hang with the GDs. I used to be, affiliated. Well, actually, I used to be a member of the GDs. Anybody who know what that is, I ain't got to spell it out for you. You know what I mean? I used to be running with that with certain gangs and stuff like that. And of course, not just with that lifestyle, but just being a young African-American male, you get in trouble. And so I was locked up, and when you're locked up, you're not there with mommy, daddy, or papa, you by yourself. So that's another reason. If I could sustain myself in a situation like that by myself, then I'm not afraid to be by myself and move that way. But like I said, I'll get into that stuff later. But some people don't like traveling alone because they feel as though, well, local flights, I don't think people really have trouble with, An hour, that's a flight that's like maybe 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes. It's kind of like in and out. And I want to get one thing straight. When you guys talk about traveling alone, what do you mean? Do you mean like actually commuting alone, like going from one place to another alone, or staying there by yourself? Because when I think about traveling, I think about the commute, because I almost always never travel with anybody else. Always, whether it's in this country or outside this country, I pretty much go by myself, with the exception of when I travel to Trinidad and Tobago, which I had a friend that was from Trinidad and Tobago, and I traveled with him and his wife. And even then, it really didn't make a difference if they were there or not, because they didn't sit beside me on the airplane, and they sat by each other, and I kind of was in my own zone. But I think, especially on the distance, because of the distance, some people feel like, well, I ain't gonna have nobody to talk to. I'm gonna be bored. It's better to travel with somebody to keep you company. And me, I'm one of those people who can take it or leave it. I don't care either way. Like, when I travel, I basically get into my own zone. I'm just thinking about all the things I'm going to be able to do once I get there. I have headphones on, I'm listening to music. And if the person that I'm sitting by is cool enough, I'll strike up a conversation with them. Like, it doesn't really matter to me traveling alone. So for some people, some people have this thing with being lonely, the stigma with loneliness and being by yourself, and that doesn't really bother me. So and for that aspect of traveling, I don't really trip when it comes to traveling by yourself. Another thing I feel like is an advantage is when you're traveling, you gotta consider, like, if you're traveling in a group, you gotta consider the emotions and the financial situation of everybody else around you. You gotta plan and make dates around somebody else's schedule, and I don't like that, man. I don't like it at all. And I'm gonna give you an example of this. I had a coworker, and he was like really, 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 really excited that he was going to Miami. So I'm excited for him because I travel all the time. He really doesn't travel that much. This is what I do. I love it. So next thing you know, I'm asking him, yo, so you still going to Miami? Nah, man. The person I'm supposed to be going with and booked the hotel with, they can't go. Something came up in their life, and now I can't go. So he had opted to let's rearrange the vacation time and let's go later on. But my boss had already told him, look, you already put in for your vacation. You gotta take your vacation. You gotta take that slot. And now, he just had to use it. He couldn't save his vacation time for later and go somewhere where he wanted to go or reschedule the Miami thing. He just had to go, all because of somebody else's plans, all because somebody else couldn't go. And that's what I don't like. I like to be on my own schedule. I like for me to have the control of the situation. I don't want to be on nobody else's time, where this is a place like, okay, like, say like I live in Atlanta, as most of you guys know. So let's say like it's a restaurant I want to go to. Been thinking about it, been telling other people my job about it, and we make plans to go, and then like a day before, you're like, I can't go, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. It's easy to be like, yo, call somebody else. You want to go? Hey, I'll pay for you. You want to go to and you can do that. But like when it comes to travel, like airplane tickets, hotels, and then rearranging all that is not as easy to do. So it's not cool. And I don't like being in a position where someone could change that up on you. So when you travel alone, there's a certain amount of flexibility in making your own plans, you see, and you don't have to worry about other people. And then another thing too is that when you travel with other people go to certain locations for different reasons, and your reasons for going and their reasons might be different. You may be that type of person who you want to really get into their culture, you want to really explore, and they the type of person, all they want to do is sightsee. and you don't really care about seeing any sights. You just want to go and travel on an unbeaten path. You know, you want to see what the heart of that country or the heart of that city is, and all they want to do is just go to these attractions just enough to have all these Facebook pictures and everything for, and you kind of want to like go to no man's land and get a peace of mind, and all they want to do is just photo op all the time. So that's another thing too. And plus, you know, when you think about other people in the cost, it's common sense. The more people involved, the more you got to think about cost. When you by yourself, it doesn't cost as much because you're accommodating yourself. And then like another thing too is that when you travel by yourself, people are more likely to open up their homes and make accommodations for you because it's one person. But if it's a group of people, I don't know, we don't have enough room, people will make certain allowances for you because it's just you. You know what I'm saying? You're not really taking them out the way so much as even if it was two of you, it can be too many. So, you know, that's what I like. So I'm approach it from this area too, as far as like the differences between men and women traveling. I feel, and things I don't worry about. I don't really worry about safety too much. I'm not gonna say nobody's not gonna try me or that something won't happen. I'm just saying like it's different. Okay, like the thing about traveling alone is that a lot of times you will find a person who's in the same position as you, and you kind of stick together. Like they might be going to the same destination as you, so if you're unclear about certain things, they can kind of tell you. You can kind of work it out together. You know, they can kind of guide you. And even if you don't know people in this particular place, if you meet somebody on the way there that has a mutual type of bond connection with you, once you get to know them, they can put you on to the people they know or the arrangements that they have, and you can basically, because like I said, it's always people who are in the same position as you when you're traveling. It might be another person traveling alone, and they might have plans that are different from yours, and you can kind of coordinate plans, and you can have kind of like a buddy or somebody there that kind of help you out, you know. And that's how it was for me. You know, it's like the first time I traveled by myself, I was like 18 years old, and I went to Atlanta on a Greyhound to visit my cousins by myself, and there were people who were going there as well. And the biggest thing why that was a help for me is that when you talking about the Greyhound, bruh, you talking about from Baltimore to Atlanta on a Greyhound, you talking about a whole bunch of stops. You see what I'm saying? You got to know the protocol on which bus to go to, where to stand, how long this trip is, and there's people that help guide you through there. So that's another thing about traveling alone. It's always like kind of like helpful people that will try to like assist you. But here's the difficult part when you're dealing with a woman. As a woman, there are like perverts out here. There are people that have other intentions. If they're not trying to do something to you, if they're not trying to sexually abuse you, they're trying to flirt with you and get your number and all that, and they may pose like, you know, they're sincerely trying to help you get to your destination or understand where you're going, and they have an ulterior motive, and that's why it's kind of hard. I don't really fear that as a man. I don't really fear that as a male, but for a female, that may be more of a concern. But most of the time, there are people who legitimately are helpful because they know about this place, they go in the same area, so anything that's unclear, they'll help you out. So like I said, there are advantages of traveling alone, definitely. I'm gonna say, like, the first time that I traveled internationally by myself was the first time I ever flown on a plane. So this was the first time that I had ever flown on a plane. This is the first time I had ever been out of the States internationally. And it just so happened that a man I was studying the Bible with was from Jamaica. And he told me, because it was just me, I have cousins that you can stay with in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. You know, and so it was easy to accommodate me because it was just me by myself. And so, yeah, you know, it was, I can't really tell you how I felt, but like I said, being incarcerated like I was locked up. I'm like I said, I'm from Baltimore, live in Atlanta, got in trouble in South Carolina, so I was locked up. I was out there by myself. So even in traveling and landing in Jamaica by myself, there's a certain street smarts that you use. You know, you ask you kind of can feel who you can ask certain things to. You don't want to totally look lost or like you don't know where you're going, and somebody can exploit you, and somebody can I say take advantage of you. So the first time I traveled to Jamaica, you know, I went there and, you know, I asked a lot of questions. It was a lot of helpful people. Plus, I knew the number of, like, I asked a million questions, like, even before I got there. You know, on the brother who was sending me out there, asked a million questions. There were other Jamaicans in my congregation, so I was asking them about certain things, certain customs, things you do or don't do. They were telling me what to look out for. It was a lot of conversation. I just didn't go out there blindly. And you better believe I was on the internet researching. I was on YouTube researching people's different experiences. You better believe I was doing my homework. You better believe it. I was doing my homework. And so when I got there, it was a lot of like pushy, aggressive cabbies out there in Jamaica. And I just told them, like, nah, I'm good. I don't need you. There go my people right there, him right there. And, you know, my the brother that sent me out there, my spiritual brother, he's like my spiritual dad from Jamaica. He told his cousin what I was going to have on. And he told me what he was going to have on. And, you know, I met up with him. And the thing was, by me being by myself, his cousin was able to, like, okay, he had a little house. He had a room. His children had a room. But his mother lived, like, I say 2 miles up from him. So what he did was his kids just stayed with the mother and I slept in their room. Or the other time I came back to Jamaica, all of them was up the mother's house, and I stayed in, you know, the father's bedroom. Basically, he had the house to myself, and he would come back from his mother's house and just pick me up and take me around. So like I said, that's what made it easy, because I was by myself. You know, people were able to accommodate me better. You know, and then, like I said, that cut out, you know, I got to worry about lodging. I got to pay for a place to stay. And let's just say, like, where I stayed would charge me maybe like $200 and something a night. And then souvenirs, plus food, plus certain attractions that you want to go to. Knowing somebody, that cut out a whole bunch of stuff. And then another time too, there was a time where there was one of the sisters, a female, you know, that was going to be my host, that was hosting me, and she had made arrangements for me coming by myself to come to stay with these two other guys that she knew, these other, other Jehovah's Witnesses, other spiritual brothers. So I was going to stay with a brother and his roommate, and it just be us guys. But one of her friends ended up saying, well, if he's just coming by himself, I will give him my apartment. She had a 2-bedroom apartment and an extra room. And she actually stayed, the girl who opted to let me have the apartment, stayed with the girl that was hosting me. Now, it might sound weird, like, why didn't I stay with the girl that was hosting me? It's because she was single. And so as a Christian, we don't put ourselves in a position where I'm staying with another single woman, or I'm staying with a woman that I'm not married to by myself. You see what I'm saying? So the friend or the sister that was hosting me, she opted, I'm going to go stay with her and I'm going to give him my apartment. And I had the whole apartment to myself. Keys and everything. It was like the best. And like I said, it wasn't on anyone else's time. I was able to watch what I wanted to watch. I was able to go where I wanted to go. And let's just say, like, I wanted to go to the Nelson Mandela Apartheid Museum, but this person wanted to do something totally different. I didn't have to argue with anybody. I did what I wanted to do. And so, to me, my preference is traveling by yourself. And then you get to see what you're made out of. The world is less scary. You get to see how strong you are. And I'm going to tell you, like, I've been to the Bahamas and Bermuda, and I've actually, moved around the city on public transportation by myself. Why? Because I move around by myself on public transportation in the United States. So when I got over there, it was like, all right, I even found, like, it was a brother who out there in the Bahamas, spiritually, Christian brother, one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And he had a little property that he used as like a vacation rental. And, he showed me how to get around the Bahamas, get from like downtown Nassau on the beach on a bus. And sure enough, I ain't wait around, man. I'm going to wait for him to come get me. I don't know nobody out here. Which way to catch the bus? He taught me the bus to get to Fox Hill. Man, put my money and hopped on that thing. And I was riding on the bus as if I was riding on a MARTA in Atlanta. So, like I said, man, for me, traveling alone has been very good. Like, I'm about to go to Bermuda in a few weeks. So when I hit Bermuda, I'm going to vlog about that and let you guys know and see what I see and let you know how I feel and what's going on out there. But traveling is the best, man. I mean, traveling alone is the best because you don't have all these other people to worry about, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier for people to accommodate you. If it's just you, people can make room in their home and you can defray the expenses with them. You don't have to worry about other people or other people ruining your trip because of them getting sick. I mean, yeah, that's another thing too. A person might go to another country and they might get sick. And you might have to, stay behind and make sure that they're okay. You can't move on. Or, like I said, you may end up having to leave early because they got sick. So it's just better to travel alone, man. If you can travel with people who are like-minded. Like, they have the same interests as you. They have the same tolerance as you. And I'm going to be completely honest. If you go and travel with a group of people, let's say like you want to travel overseas, travel with people who are from there already. Travel with people who are from that place. It's a lot better. So if you want to go to like Panama, if you want to go to Brazil, and if you get to know some people in the United States that are from there, travel with them. It's a lot better than probably traveling with people who this is their first time, this is your first time. Or if you're going to travel in a group, travel with people who have been there before. If you're going to do that, like I said, travel with like-minded people and people who are on the same level that you are. Don't travel with people who don't have a clue and you trying to find a clue. So, I mean, that's my perspective. however you feel, you're welcome to comment down below on your experiences. But that's kind of been my experiences. And like I said, I really don't have a fear. Like I said, I commute by myself, I travel by myself, but when I get there, 9 times out of 10 I know somebody, because by me being and plus I live in Atlanta. So this is what I'm saying. There are so many people that are here that are not from here, internationally and nationally. I mean, you live in Atlanta, you meet people from Chicago, you meet people from Canada, you meet people from Oklahoma, Memphis, New York, Jersey, Philly. I mean, you name it. And if you're cool with them, a lot of times they'll, I know you can stay with, man. Go, if you go out there, I'll get my people to look after you. Yeah, I got a friend coming that way. He's gonna be staying here, and then here you talk to him, and hey, how you doing? Yeah, I plan to be out here this such and such time. Okay, are you gonna meet me? All right, and then you cool. So that's another reason, like I told you, that takes the fear out of traveling, because you can always hook up with people that are out there that But like I said, even if you go somewhere and you travel alone and you don't know anyone, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna run into somebody who's in the same situation as you, and they can help you along the way. So that's my thoughts, man. To everybody out there, keep traveling, man. I tell you, man, there's so many people that don't travel, man. They just sit around. I met a guy, he's a real good guy. He's from Brunswick, Georgia. And I said, you travel? He's like, man, I don't got no reason to travel. Some people love traveling. I like to stay home. I don't want to go nowhere or do nothing. I'm like, you crazy. Like, he said there are people that love to travel. It's a reason why people love to travel. Like, have you ever gotten to the reason why they like it? I can't do it, y'all. I can't sit around. Like, people say, my coworkers, when they say I'm gonna take a vacation, they just stay around the house. Might go shopping, might go to the movies on their own, but they just sit around. They ain't no vacation, man. Man, get up and get out. Get out of here. Like, with everything going on in the United States right now, I'm just ready to I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to wake up and see no more police shootings, no more ranting about what president this is and what president that's not going to be. And I don't want, it's just, the climate is kind of like tense right now. It's a very tense time in the United States. And I just want to like go somewhere, man, and kind of like chill out for a minute, man, while all this drama's going down. So that's my take on it, on traveling alone and the advantages of it. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to do it, because like I said, I just don't like being on other people's time. And like I said, if I do travel, like I was supposed to travel with my spiritual auntie. She's from Jamaica too, and I always end up going to Montego Bay. I go to St. Anne's, Jamaica, and Ocho Rios, basically where my spiritual uncle's family live. But Kingston, Jamaica is a tough place. And it's one of those places that if you don't know somebody, you could get hurt. So I've never been to Kingston. And my spiritual auntie goes to Kingston. And she went to the Bob Marley museum there on 56 Hope Road, where Bob, old house he used to live, not that far from the Prime Minister. And so like I said, I travel alone, but I was going to travel with her. And she ended up not going because of the Zika outbreak, in which I don't really fear that. I mean, we got a Zika outbreak here in the United States by way of Miami. So it's like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But like I told you, see that? I made my plans around her. She ended up canceling, and now I'm going to Bermuda instead of Jamaica. So like I said, even when if I do travel with somebody, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be from there. So it's a little bit cooler. They're used to it. They're not funny acting. And like I said, I like traveling by myself, man, because I don't have to put up with like nobody else's plans. I can't cancel. I mean, I can't go. I got to cancel. I got my kids, this or that. You know, I can do me. I can be on my own time, my own schedule. So peace out. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you feel. Peace.